Today we're going to be making a positive and negative space drawing using our hands. We're going to start with a pencil and one color of marker to create that pattern and our piece of paper. I'm going to start by writing my name on my paper and then flipping it over. I'm then going to fold my paper in half hamburger ways. So I want my paper to be folded in half to almost like a greeting card, like you were going to be making a card for your mom or your dad. So I'm going to line it up nice and neat and make a nice crease on my paper, because one half we will have a positive space hand and one half will have a negative space hand. So after I do that, I'm going to roll up my sleeves and I'm going to trace my hand with my pencil twice. I'm going to do it on one side and then I'm going to do it on the other side as well. Now I'm going to do this with pencil because if I make a bumpy line or I mess up, I can then erase it. Always want to start with pencil first, just in case. So I'm going to carefully trace both of my hands, one on each side of my folded paper. Now that I've got both of my hands drawn out, I'm going to choose one color marker or colored pencil or crayon, and I'm going to choose a pattern to fill my hand in with. So I've got this really dark purple marker, and I'm going to do this kind of Zentangle rainbow line design. And I'm going to fill up just the hand part of this half of my paper. So I'm not going to make it go into the background. So once it hits the line of the outside of my hand where my pencil is, I'm going to stop my marker line. So I'm going to fill up my whole hand shape with this design. Now this half of my paper, I will have my positive space hand because my hand will be filled up with the pattern, while my background will stay white, so it will be my negative space background. On the other half of the paper, we're gonna do it opposite. So we're actually gonna put the same pattern with the same color marker on the other half of the paper, but in the background instead, and leave my hand white. So my hand will be the negative space and my background will be the positive space. So they end up looking backwards. So I have a positive space and a negative space hand and a positive space and a negative space background. So I'm gonna fill up the background on this half of my paper, stopping where it meets the pencil lines of my hands and then stopping where it meets the crease where I folded my paper in half. Once I've finished filling up the background on my positive space background side of my paper, I've got my positive and negative space hand. You can really tell the difference between the positive and the negative space once you've got the whole background filled in and you see your hand shape, but it's negative, so it's just the white background. I can't wait to see what pattern you guys choose for your positive and negative space hands.